Let's turn to business news now with Nona Peltier, who is on the other side of me in the Auckland studio. Hi, Nona.
Hello.
Electronic card spending largely fat in September. Now, largely fat is moderately interesting, but it really undershot expectations, didn't it?
It really did.
Why, and what does that tell us about the economy?
Yeah, you know, it's a complicated thing. In some ways, it's just the election, pre-election, post-election blahs. I mean, you know, people are always a little uncertain around elections, and especially when you've got an MMP situation, so there's no clear-cut finish to it. Yeah, so maybe things will pick up a little bit because of that. Also, housing, you know, the cooling housing market, so there's not as many houses changing hands, so to speak, so less buying, consumer spending in that respect. Also, fuel prices are down. So, I mean, rather up. That offset some of that spending in September. So when you take the fuel out of it, so they came up a little bit. When you take fuel out, actually it fell 0.2%. So
Right.
core sales were really down.
Down.
Yeah,
Literally down.
Yeah, they really were down. People spent more on fuel. Okay, so that was one of the reasons why the top line number was a little higher. But they also spent more on groceries and liquor, and we've seen that that trend. So you know, I guess some people are not buying houses; they're just drinking up large. I suppose. I'm not really sure. Now, other things that were down were clothing, appliances, and going out. So yeah, I guess people are probably spending a little less, not exactly sure why. The market, the statistics said they couldn't really link it to elections, but analysts, economists, and so on are kind of linking it to the elections. So let's just see what happens with that.
Yeah, and it's convenient for the economists to link it to the elections because if they do so, they don't have to look at any...
Well, they did look at a number of things, and one of the things they were talking about was an absence of renewed fall in interest rates. Okay, so, you know, we had, last year we had, you know, some movement on interest rates, and people had an expectation that they might come down. Well, they didn't. You know, I mean, interest rates did not come down necessarily. So, you know, people are carrying debt. We're a highly indebted nation.
Sure.
And so maybe people are thinking, you know, I'll keep my money in my wallet and leave it there for now until I find out what happens with the election. It's funny that, you know, it really, in the end, we don't really know what kind of an outcome we're going to get. But you wouldn't have thought it'd be a whole lot different either which way we go. So we'll see what happens with that. Meanwhile, our market, share market, is still hitting those record highs. We're up 1/3% again today to 8,038, not 80,000 like I said yesterday. That's a 28-point rise. And the New Zealand dollar is little change from yesterday at 70.7 US cents. That's lower than it's been. And again, that definitely is a reflection of the election. 90.8 Australians, so that's quite low, and 53.7 pence. So that's just slightly weaker tone than yesterday. Not a whole lot, and I think we'll probably see that change once we know what the outcome is.
Nona Peltier, thank you very much indeed.